Cheers.
Cheers, boys.
I'm not done
Cheers.
pouring yet.
It already smells
It cheers
good.
after the pour.
So premature cheers.
Really looking forward to this one, guys. I pulled a mic, spilt it on my keyboard.
I know. This is like three
I know.
episodes in a row I managed to not spill. Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, baby, that's juicy.
Oh, wow.
Oh man, that's good.
That was good.
I'm going back for more, Eric.
Oh, yeah? They still have
Yes.
that one in stock?
I hope so. That was great.
Tell us about it.
What you got?
I've got the latest smoothie that Great Notion has released. It's called Luminous PI. This guy right here.
Nice.
7.5 on the alcohol. It's a tart ale with banana, key lime, cinnamon, and the all encompassing natural flavors. So really tasty. And I picked up some of this, I don't know, a few weeks ago. And this is my first can, and it's fantastic.
That one sounded really good. Jimmy's doing something to his microphone.
Yeah, sorry. Got a little spillage going on there.
Damn. Two.
That cinnamon's a nice addition. I don't think I've had a lot of smoothies with cinnamon. That's nice.
Yeah, I think that could help round it out so it's not overly sweet or tart.
That's exactly what it's doing.
Mm-hmm. I'm drinking my last can of Ghost Prime, the latest concoction from Parish Brewing. Pretty sick can.
Their cans are always so cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See that montage of all the 10 years or whatever it was with all the different artwork?
Yeah, they're going to be like rebrewing all of them throughout this year, I guess, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Like throughout the year, they're gonna celebrate by bringing each one back. I've had a few of those collabs and they're all really good. But I think this one's really good. So this is a all Citra double IPA, and this is like the newest version of their pretty much like their iconic like staple IPA, which is Ghost in the Machine. So this is Ghost Prime, and it's just supposed to be like an even more saturated amount of hops. So still Citra hops, but then like a certain kind of like extract that they use to make it even more flavorful. But it's really good, but I still think the DDH Ghost in the Machine is the best one that they do. That's my favorite.
Yeah, it's so good. I love that one.
That one's always amazing.
When that one's fresh, it's really pretty amazing.
It lasts for a
No
while too,
question.
though. I feel like
Yeah,
I haven't
for
had
sure.
one really fall off on me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd drink them right away. They were so good.
Yeah, they didn't last long.
Well, we only got like 2 last time anyway, so.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you saying?
Yeah, I was camping, so even though I was camping and off the grid, I still gave you guys a heads up. And
I had to do some extra field work for that one.
yeah, Jimmy came through.
I'm so stoked you
Oh,
grabbed
that's
some of
right,
those. Yeah, that was a total fumble. I couldn't believe it.
Looks like Jimmy's drinking some other half.
Yeah, so I grabbed some other half for the episode here. So this is broccoli, and it's a double IPA, but they've got a really cool mixture in this one. So it's Mosaic and Simcoe, Nelson, Strata, and Simcoe Cryo and Mosaic Cryo. So, but yeah, I saw it in the store the other day, and I was like, it's been a while since I've had that one. So it's really nice. This one is actually 3 months old, so I got a little deal on it, but but it's still holding up pretty nicely. So
What's the alcohol percent?
I want to say it was 7.9. Yeah, 7.9.
Okay, cool. It's nice
Yeah,
to
at
see
least
them.
At least back in the day, I feel like other half used to last like 2 to 3 months easily. They
Yeah,
were one of the ones that would last a lot longer than everybody else.
especially those Imperials really hold up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't hesitate to get it again. It's got some nice like melon going on in there too.
Nice. Yeah, that one's a classic. That's a OG recipe.
Nice. So I'm drinking Cloudy with a chance of cinnamon rolls. Equilibrium.
It's
It's an imperial. Yeah, it's an imperial stout. This one's been staring at me from my fridge for a while, so I decided to crack it open for the episode tonight. So a lot of flavor in this one. Listed, it's an imperial stout with caramel toasted coconut, toasted almonds, candied pecans, cloud cover coffee. I don't know if that's a brand or what. Maple cinnamon and, probably pronouncing this wrong, Vanatu vanilla. Aged 28 months. So that's about everything that's listed there. The flavors between all of those are pretty well balanced. I'm not picking out anything that's a lot stronger than any of the other ones. Again, probably if anything, I'd say maybe the cinnamon, but it's really well balanced despite all of those flavors. So I was just looking though. I don't know what the ABV is on it.
It's 16%.
Is it? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So nowhere near that amount of booze presence.
And it's funny because Mike was talking about like taking it easy, and he's the one cracking the huge stout. Yeah.
He's like, give me.
Yeah, I may have steered away from it if I knew it was 16%, but I don't know. It looks good too. So I'll just take my time with it and nurse it.
I nursed that one for a while too. I cracked it open. Keep recorking.
17%.
17%?
Yeah.
All right.
That one's
this
really
one's got to
good.
last. It's got to go the long run.
I remember because when I drank that one, I was like, oh, this is good. Like, it's solid. It wasn't like as cinnamon rolly or desserty as I was expecting, maybe like just a notch down. But then I looked up the check-in on Untapped and I saw the percentage. I was like, oh my gosh, like I thought this was like 10 or 11 because I couldn't taste
that's what I would have
alcohol
guessed
at all.
Yeah.
And then I was really impressed. Like, wow, this hides it super well. Like, this is a really drinkable stout for that much.
Definitely, it's definitely sweet.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? You like it, Mike?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I mean, I'm shocked to find out it's 17%. Like Eric said, I would have guessed 10, 11, maybe 12 at the most. But yeah, again, I think I'm most impressed by how well balanced it is. You know, just with all those different flavors, it just works.
Yeah, it blends really well.
Yeah, for sure.
I have a bottle of that in my fridge staring right at me.
Yeah.
So,
Big after it.
yeah, looking to hit soon.
It's a good night for stouts here. It's like, I don't know where my thermometer is, about 12 degrees. So,
Oh, geez, dude.
yeah, it's cold.
Welcome to the game.
Yeah, so we decided to pick abstract images for this one, which I always love because abstract images make you think and they make you stop and examine the image a bit more than something would if it was super straightforward or obvious. But I kind of have a pet peeve with like the term abstract because I feel like a lot of people use it like really loosely. Because I feel like even if it's like a really intimate scene or, like even a macro scene, it's only abstract if you can't like tell what it is literally right away, right? Like it has to look like something other than what it is in order to be abstract. That's like what the word abstract means. But I feel like people just call like any kind of like telephoto scene abstract these days, which really isn't accurate. That's just like intimate or macro, or that's not abstract. But all of these I felt were definitely abstract, which is cool.
Cool. It's a lot of amazing work out there.
It really is.
Okay. That one looks like mine. That's some work from Maria Ruggieri.
Ruggieri, I would say.
Ruggieri, maybe?
There we go. Thanks. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I really love this image. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is a water image. I'm not exactly sure, maybe some ripples going across the scene there that kind of add a different element to to the structure, but probably the same as you guys as you scroll through Instagram and other methods of procuring and looking for images. Just I saved this one quite some time ago as something that I wanted to share on the show, and this is a perfect opportunity for it as we are focusing on abstracts, and as defined by Eric earlier. Yeah, when you look at this, you're like thinking, okay, what is it? So that's why I chose it. Really love this one.
Even if you can tell that it's water pretty quickly, it's still hard to tell like what exactly is creating that reflection, like what's creating those squiggly lines in the water. It doesn't look like water usually does. So it's really intriguing. And I think the composition here is so perfect because it is like kind of crazy, but it is also like simple enough where you have this really nice structure where you have like the zigzagging blue lines in the ripples that are probably reflecting sky. And then you have those like vertical lines all through the frame. So it's like these two patterns on top of each other that are really cohesive.
Right. And that's what makes me, so she's been putting out a ton of these kind of water abstracts lately. And I've really enjoyed seeing all of them.
Super crazy ones on there that I've been seeing.
Yeah, she really does. And, you know, I remember this one too, but some other ones that I've seen, I think they're, you know, obviously in addition to the abstraction that's, you know, provided by the water surface and the reflections, I think these are double exposures. I think she's kind of adding that element of abstract to it, which I don't know if that's maybe what she did here, but it certainly would kind of explain how she can have these kind of very different elements kind of coexisting at the same time. But either way, it's a fantastic image as all of her images in the series are.
Yeah, it reminds me, the effect there reminds me like some of those optical illusions where you see like, the pretty woman, and then all of a sudden you'll see the old woman, and then you can't see the pretty woman. You go back and forth. Like I can see the surface of water here, and then I see the reflections, but then I'm losing the water. So I feel like I'm going back and forth, which is a really cool effect.
Yeah. That the deeper part there where the black lines are, it almost, now that you said, as soon as you said that, Jimmy, I was like, kind of looks like one of those like rough charcoal sketches, you know, right. Like figure forms. And as soon as you could pick out all sorts of stuff in there with that, it's definitely a great observation.
I just can't believe that Jimmy publicly said that old women aren't pretty.
I know. What's up with that, Jimmy?
They're mutually exclusive. You can't be old and pretty. It's either pretty or old.
Can we cut that out?
Yeah.
You could have said like it looks posterity. Like two faces or a vase. Like there's so many examples, Jimmy, but you had to pick that one, huh?
Mm-hmm. Take two, Jimmy, and action.
Yeah, Maria has some really great stuff though. I actually surprisingly I wasn't following her. When Paul sent this in, I was like, that name looks familiar, and I looked her up, and I wasn't following her yet, but I followed her right away because I noticed a lot of ones that I've really liked that have been like recommended to me in my feed. But sometimes I don't notice if it's like a recommended post, and I think I'm following them because their stuff's coming up, and then I realized that I wasn't following her. So I would definitely recommend checking out her Instagram feed and her website if she has one. I'll put a link to it if there is one.
Yeah, she has some really great stuff. I enjoyed scrolling through all of her images.
Yeah, super thought-provoking and very unique. And like this one, you can't tell if it's a double exposure or not. And so if it is a double exposure, I feel like that's a bonus because those are the best kinds of double exposures, the ones that aren't obvious as to how they were
very
made.
Subtle, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's a nice one. So I just barely found out about this guy like maybe a month or two ago. And it was actually because I saw this image and I was like, Jesus Christ, that is sick. Like
So
like first of all, the color palette is so obviously beautiful, like that intense orange and then that like frosty blue. But then also I was just like, I've never really seen this before. It's like, I mean, to me, it's pretty abstract because there's just certain elements that you can't really figure out right away. I could tell that it was like a tree trunk, or I guess it's like a fallen trunk actually, because it looks pretty weathered, but like some of the bark is peeled off, but just those patterns and everything. This one just really stopped me in my tracks, and I went and checked out the rest of his work, and his website is loaded with really good stuff. So I would highly recommend you check out his work.
Yeah, I wasn't following him, so now I just pulled him up on IG as.
Yeah, Nick Fitzhardinge. He's in Canada.
Good.
Yeah. Without the knot holes, or where the branches were.
You wouldn't be able to tell.
You wouldn't be able to tell what. You'd really have to struggle to figure out what it was. but the fact that there are, you know, 3 of them, and it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah, really crazy like phenomenon, like something that wouldn't be super easy to find, and that he may never come upon again. But then he captured it really well too. Like he just showed it perfectly, like without getting in the way or anything. Just included what he needed to, framed it really nicely.
Yeah, I've been following him, but I did not see that image, and that's so great. The tones, the colors, a little bit of light looks like on it. Fantastic.
Definitely. I'm just scrolling through his IG right now. It's phenomenal. He's a very subtle quality to his work. It's really impressive.
I recommend going on his website too.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's where I was really impressed once I got on his website, like looking at his curated galleries. And he has a lot of work on there too. So I was surprised because I was like, I'd never heard of this guy, and then he has all this stuff.
That's great. Yeah, so this is from Manny. Yeah, this is from Manuel Palacios, who he and I live pretty near each other. So he lives, you know, about like an hour away from where I am.
Is he slipping you some free cans of beer or something, Jimmy? It's like the 3rd time you featured him, I think.
No, he's not. I'm working on it, but
he owes you.
He does owe you, man.
But he put together a Death Valley series, and he focused on them as 1x1s in monochrome, and just the collection of it was just so tight. Just really enjoyed his take on it all, and just these really kind of like subtle curving lines, really pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
it's
one
cool.
is really nice.
It's great that the black and white really works here on this one for me. I mean, if this was it just pulls the textures and really focuses on those great lines and the different, shading. It's a beautiful image.
Yeah, I love the like 60% gray shadow in the front, and then the one in the back, and then that like black shadow in the middle for contrast. Like there's a nice variety of tones here, rather than just being like two-toned. And then, I mean, I could tell that it was sand dunes like right off the bat, but I think that's because I'm pretty familiar with them. Because it also resembles like sheets or something, like satin sheets or like silk, or like ripples in fabric.
Right.
The whole series was very that he put out, that you were talking about, Jim. The whole series was just very visually like kind of stunning. Like a lot of very like strong graphic elements, just like this image. And then I think that really helped made the entire series very impactful. It was really well done. I enjoyed seeing it.
Yeah, this is a really impressive dune image. I love the composition here, just like really flowy, but it has a great, it's got like a nice sense of direction. It's not like haphazard. It's really well seen.
Yeah. It's just lots of different textures in there too, like mid-ground, foreground.
That's a really crazy curve too that he found, like that sweeping hump in the front. Well, what I wonder too is like, was he shooting this tight because there were like footprints everywhere, and like so instead of like not shooting at all, he like found what he could find that was still pristine? Like I wonder if like the circumstances determined shooting in this way, or if he just saw it, which is also cool. But I feel like he might have been like working within his limits, which is that's also cool, because just seeing what you can do instead of thinking about what you can't do.
Yeah.
Pretty
Pretty sure he was
hours
out there.
clone stamping footprints out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was out
seriously.
there at a time when the winds were kicking up.
Yeah, it's nice. Has kind of like an architectural quality to it. Like
Yeah.
what is it, like that Disney Opera House or whatever that everybody photographs in LA?
Sydney, yeah.
Well, no, there's another one like in LA or something that's like Richard Martin has photographed, like William Neal, like
Oh, really?
tons of old school guys. Yeah, I think it's like some kind of Disney thing or something. It's like metal and it's really curvy, and yeah, it reminds me of this.
Yeah, really cool stuff.
That's nice.
I see.
Nice pick, Jimmy. I like that.
Definitely.
Yeah, we'll put the link to the website in there, because you can see the whole collection online.
Yeah, the collection is really impressive. I mean, any of the images obviously can stand alone, but really, when you go through that whole collection that he put together, it's really cohesive. Great collection.
Nice.
I don't think I've photographed the dunes so many times, and I don't think I've ever photographed anything this tight.
Yeah, it seems like it's pretty zoomed in, like something off in the distance from this perspective, because it's like kind of above the dunes. So it must have been far away to get that like looking down on it perspective.
Yeah.
Square crop is always cool too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. It's tough to work
It is.
Super hard. Yeah, I'm always impressed when I see like a dune image that feels novel with how many people have photographed these dunes, especially in recent years. Like coming away with something that feels brand new is not easy.
Right.
That's it right there. Trying to find something unique or artistic or different. Yep.
Just makes it even more impressive.
Mm-hmm.
This one's crazy.
Yes. Yeah, I love this image as soon as I saw it. Wendy Bagnall. Wow. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Bagnall. Anyway, UK photographer. I've been following her for a really long time. Very, very talented.
Have we featured her before?
Nope. I don't believe
we have. I've been following her. I don't know how I would have found her, but I thought maybe we had featured her, and that's why I was following her now. But
I don't think so. She's got a pretty decent, pretty big following. She doesn't do a ton of abstract stuff. So when I saw this one, it definitely jumped out at me. I think so. I talked to her a little bit afterwards. I sent her a message asking her if it was okay if we use the image for the episode, and she said yeah. And she kind of told me a little bit about it. So it's an in-camera double exposure. Pretty simple, straightforward as far as that's concerned. But I think with all abstract images, it's a lot harder to say concrete, like definitively what it is that's like so appealing to it. Like abstract images to me are so much more about feel.
Yeah.
So I have a hard time kind of saying why this image appeals to me as much as it does. It's just a feeling. And, I don't know if it's the tones, the kind of winter feel to it or what it is. But the image just absolutely jumped out at me as soon as I saw it and really wanted to share it.
Yeah. To me, it looks like a painting, like pointillistic type painting, kind of has like a Japanese art feeling to it in a way. I don't know a whole lot about like art, like painting and stuff to go into that more, but just from my limited knowledge, like that's what it is reminiscent of to me. And the color palette is really nice. That like rustic orange, and then that like soft aqua blue, and then that white is like really pristine feeling.
Pristine. Yep.
Yeah, those tones just absolutely do it for me, and it's just I was looking at her stuff just now. She's got some really good stuff.
Yeah, she does. I just don't even know how she can like preconceive this stuff or whatever. Like, how do you even like get to combining stuff in this way? And like, she must see it in her head for it to turn out this good. Like before she executes.
Yeah, you kind of. I mean,
it's not like willy nilly playing around,
No,
it's there's a lot of experimentation. I think for some people, but maybe other folks can just make it click a lot more easily.
Now, for me, with the in-camera double exposures, it's 1,000% trial and error. That's kind of what I like about it, though, especially being able to do it in cameras, because you kind of never really know what you're going to get until you take the frames, and then you step back and you look at your screen and you're like, oh, that looks like dog shit, which is usually what happens with me. But
that is dog shit.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, right. But yeah, no, I think this definitely has some intentionality to it.
I just want to look at this one.
That this was trial and error. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I just want to look at it. It's just like, oh man, this is so like pleasing on your eyes. It's so killer.
Yeah. There's a painter who lives in my region who does like these really cool like metallic acrylic type paintings. I don't know how he's doing it. It's like enameled on the surface as well, but he uses that same palette, that kind of like rusty orange tone in there. which is really cool. It's like in a forest scene. He does a lot of forest stuff, so it reminded me of some of his work.
And that something like this would be really easy, like to hang, just because it would match with so much stuff. You know, it'd be just a massive print of it, and you can kind of put it anywhere because it blends in, and you can pull those tones and colors in. I'm just thinking about it and where I could put it.
Yeah, and I mean, this is something that, like, I wouldn't say this like in a negative way to like degrade it at all, but like to me, this is like in a different realm. Like, it's not even a photograph anymore. Like, you're using a camera, but it's becoming like an entirely different medium in the way that you use the camera. Like, I don't know, people would see this, they wouldn't think photograph, maybe painting. Like, it's really hard to even tell how it was made at all, like with what medium or tools.
Yeah.
I think that makes it all the more interesting though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, very cool. Oh,
this one from Jennifer's crazy, Paul.
Oh yeah. So funny story about this one. I had I contacted her, I don't know, it feels like a week or so ago, about, because she's got really great abstracts. I mean, she's got really great stuff in general, but her abstracts are pretty awesome. And so I'm all set. I kind of picked out one that I thought would be ideal for the show. And then this beauty pops up in my IG field. And I'm like, whoa, hang on a second. What I had was beautiful, but I think this one really pulled me in. I really like ice stuff and cold images and cool tones and that kind of stuff. So it was a pretty obvious choice for me to quickly switch gears and grab this one instead of the other one. Maybe down the road I'll throw the other one up that I really liked. But she's got a lot of really good stuff, as we all know. And her story about it was pretty cool too, where, you know, she had some freezing temps over in Colorado.
Yeah, just in her backyard, right?
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine that? I mean, we're all on the hunt.
Backyard banger.
Yes, it's a backyard banger.
Well, that's like the powerful thing about abstract photography too, is like you can make it anywhere and nobody has any idea where you did it. So like you're no longer limited by where you stand geographically. Like, you don't have to travel to make these kinds of images. Like, you can make an amazing image in your bathtub or in your toilet, or, you know, in your cup of coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
But like literally,
so
like
true.
anywhere becomes potential for making something amazing if you can see it in the right way.
Yeah. I mean, I had something like in the fall. I came home at lunch to let my dogs out, and I'm just waiting for him to come in, and I look down, and there's this perfect fall leaf with these, you know, perfect beads of water on them that were not urine. They were perfect beads of rainwater.
It doesn't count then.
Maybe Big Sexy hit it before I saw him. But I ended up grabbing my macro lens and going out there, and for like 30 minutes posting up on this leaf, and I'm like, man, this is awesome. So yeah, I mean, it's we have those. It's just taking the opportunity to go out there and look down and find them, and that's what she did here, and it really turned out fantastic.
yeah. It has a really amazing 3-dimensional view to it too. When you depending on the lighting that you're looking at it in, but it, you know, it's kind of like almost like you're looking down on, you know, these little etchings in a dry area, you know, like Badlands kind of a landscape.
When I first saw this, it was on Instagram on my phone, so it was obviously really small. And at first I thought it was an aerial of the Badlands, like Alex Noriega has a ton of photos of. Like, it looks just like those Badlands. And I'd assumed it was like just a drone photo. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then like 2 seconds later, I'd realize, like, wait, no, that's something else. Like,
That's in her bird bath out back.
I think your description is the best.
urine.
Bennett, yours is the best. It's a backyard banger. It's so good.
She has a lot of them. I remember a couple years ago too, like during the pandemic, she was photographing ice in their driveway and found some really cool ice patterns and things. And it's just like, if I'm at home, the last thing I'm thinking about is shooting at all. Maybe I'm just not enthusiastic enough anymore.
Some pollen on puddles.
You burnt out, dude.
in a park.
Hang 'em up
somewhere.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah, it's a great image. Sweet.
Whoa.
So
Oh wow.
this one
So
from
cool.
Lena
Love
Brews. She's in the UK. I've been following her for a little while. She has like a lot of coast stuff and mostly like intimate abstract type stuff, which I really enjoy, obviously. And This one is really cool because I could tell that it was some kind of water scene, like an ocean scene, because of the gallery that it was placed in on our website. But otherwise, it could resemble like so many things. It just really engages your imagination, allows it to like run wild with trying to guess what it could be. But it's got really nice subtle structure, and the composition is kind of created by the differentiating colors instead of like lines and stuff like normally would create structure for a scene to be composed around. It's more like,
Right.
you know, the green and then the blue and then like the aqua and the teal. Really nice different tones and stuff. This kind of stuff
Yeah,
is
I love
difficult to
it.
compose, I feel like, because there's not any kind of obvious structure to it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Right, but again, it's about, it's about feel, and like the tones so dominate in this photo. The tonality of it, that completely imparts the feeling to the image, and it's mesmerizing. Like, can't stop staring at it. It's very amorphous. There's no real shape or structure to it, but that's not the point. It's, the tones and the feeling that they impart. It's really, really well done.
And I hope this doesn't detract from it at all. But it's flipped sideways, I'm pretty sure, because if you look at it, if you crank your neck,
Yeah,
you
so,
look at it horizontally, it's like, okay, it's like the reflection on like moving water. But what I like the reason I mentioned that is because it is flipped, but you can't tell. So I hate when people flip stuff upside down and you can tell it's upside down, because all it makes you want
Right.
to do is like, it just distracts your viewing experience. Like, it's hard to look at.
Mm-hmm.
You just want to flip it over with your mind.
Yeah.
But this one, like, it works perfectly how it is sideways, which is pretty crazy
Totally.
too.
And there's some three-dimensional depth to it too. Like I feel like the green area in the center left is.
Yep.
It's almost like you're looking down into rock that's below the water level.
Yeah, good point, Jimmy.
I think
see
so.
that.
Yeah, it's like shallow water probably.
Right,
So it's
right,
getting lots
yeah.
of different, like, light is, traveling further or a shorter distance depending on the depth.
Right.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of really nice different colors and textures. It's really great.
Yeah, she has a lot of great stuff. Her website has a lot of good stuff, and she's always posting on Instagram too. So definitely worth checking out.
I'm gonna have to pull it
She
up.
had one recently that I shared in my last newsletter that I really liked. It was like water flowing across like colorful kind of sandstone looking rock.
Oh yeah. Yep. I remember that one.
Definitely worth checking
Yeah,
out.
stuff.
there was a lot going on in that image too. There's like a lot of different
Yeah.
flow patterns and stuff.
Yeah,
See
but
if I
it's
can
still
find
very
it.
cohesive.
Right.
I always
Yeah.
admire when people can like turn like work with complexity in a very like simplistic way. Instead of like getting rid of the complexity to make it simple, they just know how to like frame it in order to keep the complexity but also have it be cohesive.
Man, I'm looking at her stuff right now. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's
I
good
wasn't
stuff.
I wasn't following her. That's on me. Beautiful work.
Yeah, glad you like it.
You see that one with the this one with the ice crystals in it? Wow. Gosh, she's got some good stuff.
Hard to know which one that would be.
Sorry, guys. This guy right here. Look at that.
Yeah,
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 that's-
yeah.
that's-
That was another one I really liked recently.
So good.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
This thing looks like a guitar or
Gee.
something.
Wow.
This is
It's like a
super
Picasso.
crazy. And a face. Yeah.
That
It's got
wild.
tons going on.
Damn. This
It
guy's
almost
so good
looks
at
like
these.
some kind of like I don't know if you guys follow Cecil Witt, but he's a landscape photographer, and he's been doing like digital art lately with like really crazy shapes and things, and like I don't. This kind of reminds me of that, but that's all computer generated stuff that he's doing. Like, yeah, it kind of reminds me of like digital art, but this is probably just a straight photograph of something reflecting, and it seems
Yeah,
like
I
it's
think he's-
architecture or something.
So it is, yeah. So it's Mike Curry. He's from England, and this one was called Eyes, but I'm fairly sure he does a lot of like kind of like reflection pools and such in urban settings. So you can kind of get some really geometric stuff on top of some very whimsical, organic feeling lines and stuff, like this river running right through the middle here. That's, but yeah, he's worked with that quite a bit, and it's really pretty. It's pretty amazing stuff that he's been putting together.
So like as interesting and yeah, just like engaging all those little like intricate lines are and stuff in the center. What really makes this one for me are the solid blue sections on the left and the right. Like that contrast of just like very, solid like zero texture on
Yeah.
the left and the right with all the crazy stuff going on in the center. Like that really makes this one for me.
Right.
Yeah, it kind of contains the interest, the visual
Yeah,
interest.
like
in
that's
the
what
image
you
a
would
little
do
bit.
if it was like a painting. You'd have like
Right.
Right.
really soft borders.
So when you guys if you shoot these, like Jimmy, I know you've done this, shot these a handful of times. Like I always end up having to shoot them like crazy high ISO because so you're usually shooting handheld for one thing, and you want like a higher
Like
shutter
1/250th of a second at least to freeze it.
and then the other thing too is you need to be at like f20, or whatever. You have to be really stopped down, or else so much of it is out of focus. So
Well,
you
that's
need to
another thing
crank the
about this one.
ISO.
This one feels like a very flat plane. It doesn't feel angled
Yeah.
at all, which is surprising.
Yeah, if he was on a
whenever
bridge and going straight down.
maybe, but then he'd be like shooting himself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
You know what I mean? Like it needs to be like somewhat angled, but it feels completely flat somehow.
That's a
Yeah.
good call out. It does look very flat.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I think these would look awesome printed, especially big. But of all the water abstracts that I've tried, I've never wanted to print them because there's either I've not been totally stopped down and like the edges are like kind of way out of focus, or shot it at like 5,000 ISO, and even with all the denoise and everything, it's just not.
Have you tried
I don't know.
the new denoise though? The latest
I have.
version of it's amazing, and especially for water stuff like
wait.
this where you don't have strong detail.
The Topaz one or the
No,
just the one that's just the one in Lightroom?
Yeah, Adobe Camera Raw.
Yeah, no, it is so good. In fact, I've basically stopped using the Topaz plugin
Right.
because
Yeah,
that
me
one
too.
is so good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
no, I
like
was just
AI
kind of
denoise.
curious to know how you guys handle that. You ever shot
I've
things
never
like this?
had to print one big because I've never done one for myself, and I've never had somebody order one large of one of these.
If you look at his Instagram feed, he has I think it was an A4 print of this image that he was handing off to somebody, and it looks really amazing.
How
What's
big is
A4?
A4?
Like, how big is
'Cause
it?
we don't use those sizes over here. That's like UK stuff.
It's smaller than 16 by 20.
We don't use those over here.
Jimmy,
Come on, Jimmy.
We're gonna shift
Inches,
the metric
bro.
anyway.
you even American?
Yeah, we're in America.
We're America, dude. A4.
Only A1 we have over here is A1 steak sauce.
right?
That's right.
Jesus.
For that backyard barbecue.
For that
Come on.
microwave steak.
For that Salisbury. Come on.
With macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, he's got some water, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
so good at
he's
those.
got a lot of good stuff.
All right, so I'm curious. I'm going to try to print one right now while we're talking.
Wow.
Keep going. It's going to take a little while, but
Hey, if you get that thing hot off the press while we're still on this call,
I'm going to. It'll take a little while, but I'll be able to do it.
holy shit.
Well, what do you mean? You've already prepped the file and stuff? Like,
No, I'm going to prep the file right now. I'm just going to resize it.
okay.
I'm not gonna do my normal whole spiel. I'm just gonna kind of quickly resize it, and then
You just
it'll
want to
take a
see
while to print.
how the noise turns out.
Yeah, exactly. Because I've never done it. Because I've always like, I don't really know. But
Does it
now
look
I'm-
noisy on your monitor?
Not really. And this is one that I use the new AI denoise
Yeah,
and
I'll
camera raw.
I'll do it like up to 10, like whatever the highest level is, and
Yeah.
it still retains enough detail and stuff like this, and the noise is completely gone, even at like 1600 ISO or 2000 ISO.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah. All right. Should do like let's check the size here. See what it wants to resize it at. 20 by 25. It's a weird size. I should probably not do that. I'll do 16 by 20.
Is it gonna be loud as
Keep-
fuck in the background?
It probably is. You can mute me. Well, I mean, whatever noise it's making right now is about what it'll make.
What kind of printer do you have, since everyone's gonna ask?
Canon Pro 2000.
Tough guy. He just like probably just bought this printer and he's like, how can I plug this into the show to show off my?
I had this thing forever.
It's Demonola Printing Services, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to advertise his printing company.
Yeah, exactly.
His startup.
So a link in the show notes.
Yeah. Hashtag make it big. Go big or go home.
Bigger the better.
Yes.
Size matters.
Yes. Bigger the better. Bigger the better for the backyard bangers.
Bring your bangers to me. I'll make them bigger.
I would recommend not going to bangers.com. I don't know.
Those are ones that stole your credit card, right, Jimmy?
Which one?
Bangers.com.
Yeah, this image is really nice. And I also love how it's monochromatic. Like it's all different shades of blue, and then just white and black. Pretty simple color palette, which is complementary to this kind of crazy, complex subject matter. That dark stuff on the right is cool too. Like the dark pattern, it's like pretty much the same as the stuff in the center, but it's like black.
It reminds me sometimes almost like I felt like he was like the water was getting hit by like raindrops or something. It's like kind of those concentric circles, but I don't think that was the case. But it just has that look to it.
All right, Mike, I'm muting you. You can unmute yourself if you want to talk. There you go. That was too loud. Yeah, that is really sick. Oh, this is Mike's image, so he has to talk. There you go.
It had stopped talking. Stop doing that. Anyway. All right, yeah. So this is another actually recently posted image by Mark Davis. What's the matter? Can you guys hear me?
It just sounds like you're sitting inside of like a jet engine or something. You're like you're in a laundromat.
Hang on, let me shut it off.
You're in a laundromat.
Right?
Hey, you need some new coins in that thing.
You got to go through with it now.
All right, I'll just talk over it. So yeah, Mark Davis is American living in Japan. Actually, just learned a lot about him. Yeah, awesome guy.
He's a fan.
Just learned a lot about him. Yeah, definitely is. He was on the F-Stop podcast, so I kind of learned a lot about his background and stuff. It's a really cool, down to earth guy. Puts out a lot of good work. He's out a lot with Show and some of those other guys over there that are, as we all know, we featured them all a bunch on the on this show. She's putting out incredible work, and so. Again, Mark doesn't do a ton of abstract stuff. So when he posted this, it jumped right out at me. I still don't know what it is. I'm guessing it's ice with maybe some stuff trapped beneath it. I don't know.
The green is what throws me off. It's like translucent, like glowing.
Yep. I didn't ask him when I talked to him about using this. I didn't ask him what it was because I figured it would be kind of good fodder for discussion. But yeah, I just love the angles. It's got kind of a little bit of a menacing feel to it. And, the kind of blend of colors and shapes and patterns. Again, just like I said with the other one, it's just, there's something about abstract images that just kind of have a feel that's kind of hard to describe and put a finger on what exactly it is that's appealing about it. But I absolutely love this image the second I saw it.
Yeah, I like how the lines are softer here. Like they're not super harsh or defined like a lot of ice can be. Like they almost just kind of disappear instead of like seeing the ends of them and stuff. Like they just kind of fade in and fade out from the rest of the ice. And then I would assume that's like foliage or something getting hit by sunlight and reflecting in the surface of the ice, as well as the other stuff that you see here. But it feels like it's reflecting like from underneath it instead of like on top of it. Like it feels like it's like glowing from within instead of just the surface reflecting stuff. Yeah, this one also caught my eye when I saw it like a week or so ago when he posted it.
Yeah, so cool.
Yeah, his comment's perfect, where he says, "Don't forget to look down from time to time. You never know what you might find." And I can't tell you how many times I've had that happen, where you're just kind of walking along and you look down and you're like, "Whoa, hang on a second. Here's some stuff."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
I might be reading into it, probably am, but I see a crane in there in the upper half. Head at the upper left corner.
Yeah, I see that.
Given like the Japanese influence there, I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. If like that was something he was looking for.
I mean, I see a few of them. Like a lot of those shapes, like those diamond triangle type shapes, kind of resemble like a beak, like a head with a long beak.
Yeah, with that red cap, like a sandhill crane.
Uh-huh. Yeah, or like a bird of paradise flower.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I saw
Yeah.
first. I was like, that's exactly what I thought it was.
Yeah, West Coasters. They don't have those out on the East Coast, probably.
No, we have ice.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
We used to have
That's
some in
really
our
cool.
backyard in California.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this one's
Very
sick.
cool.
Very abstract. Almost looks like a painting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think we know it's ice because we're pretty familiar with ice. We've photographed enough ice to see like different things, but the normal person wouldn't know what the hell this is.
Right.
There's nothing here that tells you it's ice unless you've seen these kinds of shapes, which you don't really find anywhere else.
Right.
Because it doesn't look like ice. There's no like blueness to it, or like it's very colorful. So figured this would be a good one to end the episode with. Mike Osborne. I actually have a book from him. I found out about him because it might have been Michael Fry. They recommended this book that he made called Ex Machina or Ex Machina. I highly recommend getting it. It's like $30. It's nothing fancy. You can see it's like spiral bound, and I think it's like printed on demand by the company. I'll put a link in the show notes for it. But the imagery in here, the collection of images is fantastic. So, like when you guys look at this image, what do you see? What can you guess like that it is actually?
I have no idea. Definitely seems like frost, but
Or minerals, or it could even be an aerial image. It looks like, or
Yeah,
you know,
like
just-
like rivers, or like kind of like a Rio Tinto type of thing.
yeah,
Kind of like
for
some of
sure.
Hans Strauss aerials, like the colors of
Yep.
poison stuff. Some mud cracks down there, the tiles.
Yeah, it's
So
very.
so what is it?
So this whole book is a collection of images that he made like in different junkyards of like rusted vehicles, like
Oh my
macro
gosh.
stuff. So it's just like chipped away, oxidized paint and stuff like on a car.
That's so cool.
on a
but,
car.
crazy.
Yeah.
On a car.
The variety of images in here is insane. And again, like the book isn't I wish the book was like better produced. The printing looks nice. The images look great. But I would love to own this like as a hardcover book or something. Cause it's just phenomenal. But every image is so unique, and you would never guess like what it actually is. But yeah, this image is in here too. This
Do you
is like
get
the
this-
epitome of abstract.
Do you get
check
the
out this one.
semblance that they're cars? I mean, can
look
you
at
tell
this.
they're cars? Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
It looks like
Pretty cool.
ice.
Yeah, totally does.
So he finds like all different kinds of patterns and things. Crazy colors and stuff.
But you can't tell they're cars from the images.
Not in most of these. I mean, even this one is really cool. There's like it's like some kind of like webbing, but it's a really cool composition.
Wow.
It's like
It's almost
old,
like my
weathered, like stitching or something, like from fabric, like a torn a torn upholstery or something.
yeah. That almost looks like one of Mike Curry's images. Those vertical lines.
Yeah. Anyways, this is just one of those images that just makes you ask a lot of questions, and yeah, I love this guy's work. His website doesn't have very much on it, so if you're interested in this stuff, I definitely recommend picking up this book. I've looked through it many times.
Definitely have to check it out. Such a cool idea too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and even though I'm like strictly nature photographer, like to me, like I would photograph this stuff if I found it, because it is like nature at work, like reclaiming these like materials, you know, like the metal and stuff, breaking it back down again to use it for something else.
Yeah, it's super cool that that's a rusty car. I mean, I'm never guessing that.
No.
Nah, it looks like some kind of a delta or something, or like I would think an aerial of some kind of like geothermal thing or some shit.
Makes me want to go out and hit the U-Pullet yard. I'm gonna
Get after it.
pick up an alternator and a bunch of images.
An alternator for a 78 Corolla?
You don't need to replace those.
No way.
Right.
I'll be out there with the
Not a
macro
Corolla.
lens. They're like, hey, we're going to charge this guy hourly rates.
Right.
Yeah. A lot of these photos that he has are like extreme macro. Like I'm pretty sure this one is pretty zoomed in, but some of them like are like 35 millimeter, 50 millimeter, not even that zoomed in, but they're still super abstract. You can't even tell what the hell they are. Yeah. It's like $33.
Wow.
Really, really different. Nice change of pace. It was like a really refreshing book that got me really into trying to shoot abstract stuff again. Just shows like the extent of what you can do.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Nice. Good stuff. Some cool images.
Yeah, that was fun. Especially when you have to
You're muted,
work
Mike.
when you have to work for it a little bit. You know, those are the best abstracts when it's like, okay, what am I looking at?
Yeah,
Or-
for sure.
Or you never find out. You just enjoy it for what it is.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I have one that people like still always ask me about today, and that's just like fun. Like I'm all coy about it because like I don't know, it's just fun that they have no idea what it is. Like that's not the point of it. Like I don't want you to know what it is. Like
I know
Just
exactly
enjoy
which
it.
one you're talking about.
No, I know which one you're talking about too. Didn't you ask when you posted it, like people to guess what it was or something like that?
maybe. I usually don't do stuff like that, but I might have.
It's from your dishwasher, right?
Yeah,
well-
it's really humiliating. I don't want anyone to find out.
What it actually is?
It would ruin me forever.
It was a diaper change.
We'll have a big reveal in the green room after this.
Yeah. Swear I won't
Perks
tell
of being
anybody.
on the cast.
Exactly.
How's that print coming, Mike?
It's warming up, so I haven't printed anything in quite a while, so I had to clean out all the nozzles and shit. So I just blew through a bunch of ink.
You're supposed to
Doing that.
print like every 2 weeks or so, I think.
Part of the reason why I was like, fuck it, I'll just print something right now because I haven't in a while. So yeah, you really
mean,
should, because otherwise
I can-
you end up blowing through tons of ink
Yeah.
and it fills up that collection thing. Jimmy and I were talking about this a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
I mean, I'd be printing my shit all the time if I owned my own printer.
Well, I mean, look at this shit. Look at all these fucking prints I have.
There you go. I can send you stuff if you want.
What's that?
I can send you some files if you want, if you ever want to see how mine turn out.
Yeah.
Compare them side by side.
You can upload them on bangers.com.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy that web domain, Backyard Bangers.
Actually, I gotta
Dude.
get. Yeah, you totally should.
Before this show airs, that's got to be. You got to
Yeah.
secure the perimeter.
Oh yeah, people are gonna be going for it.
Dude, that was so good.
Yeah, the basin that captures the ink that it blows out is like a $300 part.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't believe that when the thing went off the other day, which is what Jimmy and I were talking about. And I was like, I didn't even know I needed to replace that thing. And yeah, sure enough, it was like $259. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I just outsource my prints. I feel like it's like not even cost effective to own your own.
If you have a printer that works and you can get your profiles lined up, but I went through several, and at best I got them to be like what I thought they should look like, maybe 50% of the time. And
Color wise or like density, like
yeah,
black point.
color and contrast, both. One or the other or both. Like, and I had a local printer here that I would work with. This guy Chris, in town. And it was like, I'd have a run and I'd do like 4 or 5 or 6 and they'd be great. And I'd be like, all right, cool, we got this dialed in. And I get another run back and I'd be like, dude, what the, and
That's really
and then
weird.
you pull it up. Yeah, it really, it is. So
Because
yeah,
all
I
my
don't know.
stuff, like no matter where I've printed it, even when I've done like Costco prints for people, like friends and stuff of different things, like the colors have been 100% accurate. Like I never have issues.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's weird.
I mean, like maybe I'm like way too like type A anal about it. Certainly a possibility.
Oh no, I'm crazy about color, but I feel like if your monitor is calibrated, it'll match wherever you print at. That's the point of
no,
it.
I mean mine self-calibrates. I mean, now I have no problems. Like I haven't fucked with the profiles on this. I mean, other than when I change papers, like I haven't messed with anything, and the colors are consistently good. What are they?
Dogs are
Like,
good.
I'm putting on a show for you.
Is that a boy and a girl?
No, fuck no.
Yeah, I
Vermont,
mean, it's
dude.
2024, so.
Exactly.
Anything
No
goes.
way I'm stopping them.
You're like one of them's transitioning.
Yeah, it's Vermont.
They're both
you know?
boys.
Yeah.
You just have two dogs, or you have a third?
No, I have two. I had a third. I had a third before I got divorced.
Yeah.
He's about to have a third.
And
They'll
a
figure it
fifth.
out.
I don't know. That would be something. That would be something.
Give one of them a cigar.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say, you need a cigarette, buddy?
Marlboro Red, rip off the filter.
Yeah. Yeah, I fucked him like you owe me money. All right, get out of here, Herbert.
All right, well, I guess we'll have to find out about the print later.
Yeah, we can bring it in later.
It's going to be a while.
To
be continued. Tune
Yeah,
back
it's
in.
still
on
flashing.
We'll do.
This is how long it
episode
takes.
down the
So
road.
it takes forever. I mean, the file size. Well, I don't know. The file size.
We can do a Wednesday highlight.
Yeah.
That thing.
No, I can just cut it. I'll just add it in. We can skip to it. All right, Mike.
This show's PG.
See that print.
Oh,
Oh, creased. Can't sell it.
no, I don't know that I
How's
would, but it's
the-
actually. It's
Clean?
really not. Yeah, it's really not as. I mean, it's definitely soft on the edges.
What's his name?
I don't know. It's a
What
little
is
better
that
than I
photo?
thought.
How is it like red? Is it like maple trees?
Yeah, it's a huge maple tree that was at an angle like this, overhanging a pond. So it's rotated 90 degrees. So the original was like this.
Oh, so it's supposed to be vertical?
So I switched to vertical because I thought it kind of looked. So I titled it Autumn Tears because it kind of looked like tears coming down. But anyway, and I had shot this scene so many times and done them all horizontal. I just flipped this one vertical, but I don't know. I mean, I guess it printed better than I thought. If I crop out that edge a little bit, it might actually, because it's mostly like soft, like in this area here. But
Okay.
the rest of it's fairly sharp. I mean, 16 by 20, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Not as bad
That's
as I
kind of
thought.
anticlimactic. I'll send you one of my
I know it
files
was.
and we'll do that again.
Ah,
Better reveal.
sounds good.
The Backyard Bangers domain is taken.
Is it? What is it?
That's bullshit.
Actually, it might be available.
Got to be a porn.
Yeah, what are they doing on
Buy
there?
it. We're gonna buy that.
Got to be porn.
What is being banged in the backyard?
You know what you need
You
to
should
do
Google it.
is put it on the thread that hey, we're all gonna pull together and buy. We need to buy back Backyard Bangers. We're looking for a GoFundMe.
The photo community deserves it.
Yeah, we're taking it back.
They've waited long enough.
Exactly.
Yep, backyard banger. Not bangers, banger. It looks like it's like an outdoor kitchen.
Oh, I was thinking
Supply.
like, you remember like back in the 90s when people would like wrestle in their backyard, like backyard wrestling?
Oh,
Yeah.
I still
Like
do.
Kimbo
I was thinking
Slice.
like something like that was still around.
Hey, it still is.
Backyard Banger is, without the S, is free.
Oh,
No, it's not.
I could.
Oh,
I could
it's
settle on that.
BY Banger. BY Banger is the outdoor kitchen company. We could do that.
We could go with the Z too.
We should actually just buy
Ooh.
that.
Or a money
Oh
sign.
yeah, there you go.
Oh, money sign. Shut up. That is so good. Dude, a money sign would be real.
Can you even put
You
that
can
in
do
the
that?
URL?
No, I don't think you can in a URL.
Dude, that
Be
would
cool,
be
but-
so good. With that money sign.
That'd be awesome.
I'm dying.
Man. There's a lot of options are available with Backyard Bangers.
.net.
.net is free.
Oh shit, dude, that's so fucking good.
If we're willing to pony up $70, we could probably rip backyardbangers.com from somebody.
$70.
I'll do
Somebody's sitting on it. Literally.
Just waiting.
Yeah, exactly. A little ground and pound in the backyard. Tell them we're gonna meet up and take it back.
Right.
Well, good stuff, you guys. Nice to see you all.
Good stuff, man. Yeah, great beers, good photos.
Cheers,
Yep.
brothers.
Good-
Hopefully
Cheers.
everybody was
Cheers.
inspired by the abstract photography to see the world in a different way, try some new things, go shoot in your backyard.
Get those bangers.
Yeah, we're gonna start up the hashtag backyard bangers, so just hashtag your photos with that.
100%.
We'll pick them
Gonna
up.
blow it up. Blow it up.
That's right.
All right, cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.